What is going on, my team? We got UFC Fight Night Rozenstruik versus Gaziev this Saturday. Not a bad card name-wise, but holy shit, these matchups suck dick, bruh. So many one-sided fights. It's giving me almost boxing vibes, like, you know, when they always say in boxing, oh my god, the clash of the heavyweights, and then, I don't know, like Tyson Fury is a 1.05 favorite. This is not the way to go, UFC, but I'll let you guys off this time. So anyways, I got 3 bets for you guys. After I give you those, I'll talk a bit more about the card in general. So let's get right into it. First bet I got is a little 2-fight parlay. I'm undefeated on those so far into the year, by the way. I got Eric Anders to win versus Jamie Pickett, combined with Steve Urchek to win against Matt Schnell at 1.70 odds for 3 units. Both are mismatches. Eric Anders, while not being anywhere near top level, just straight up outskills Jamie Pickett everywhere. He's pretty well rounded. And Pickett just isn't good anywhere, really. The guy is on a 4-fight losing streak with a 13-10 record. No clue how he's still in the UFC. While on the other hand, Anders pretty much only loses to like top 20, top 30 guys. So I think Anders will win this one by decision. Could get the finish as well though. And then the second fight of the parlay, Steve Urchek against Matt Schnell. Steve Urchek is a future flyweight title contender in my opinion. Again, very well rounded, slick movement, precise striking, with decent skills on the ground as well. While Schnell is, you know, pretty alright. Only lost to top 10 guys in the flyweight division, but he's extremely chinny, and you just can't be chinny when you're only up against midgets. He's been inactive, he hasn't fought in over a year, he's very injury prone, so probably not at 100%. Got so many fight cancellations. So yeah, this is one of those where I both bet for my pick, but also against the opponent of my pick, if you get what I'm saying. Whatever. Then onto my second bet in the co-main event of Vitor Petrino versus Tyson Pedro. I got the fight to go over 1.5 rounds at 1.71 odds for 3 units. Okay, so Petrino is an absolute physical phenomenon for the light heavyweight division. It's always the Brazilians, I wonder why. Extremely huge for the light heavyweight division. He's pretty well rounded. I like his ground game. His striking is a bit iffy, but you know, not anywhere near bad. He's comfortable with both getting the decisions as well as searching finishes in his fights if he sees the opportunity. And his opponent, Tyson Pedro, he's pretty much a first round fighter. All of his UFC wins were finished in the first round. So to keep it short, how I think this fight is going to play out is Petrino will be aware of the huge danger in round 1 that Pedro presents. And I think he will play it very safe early. Probably just stay behind his jab, throw a few leg kicks here and there, trying to feel Pedro out. I don't think Pedro can just explode on Petrino like he could on other opponents. Due to the difference in physicality, I also think Pedro will be aware of that. So he will probably also start off kind of slow, looking for openings, looking for counter shots, not trying to rush anything, trying to avoid the takedown from Petrino, because you already know if Petrino is on top of you, you're not gonna have fun. You're gonna have a bad time. So I see a slow first half of the first round. Then I can see one of either guys getting hurt on the feet towards the end of round 1, but surviving. Both have good chins. And then I think in round 2, both will open up more. And then it's just about surviving for 2.5 more minutes for our bet here. So yeah, I think Petrino will be able to stop the early onslaught. And I do think Petrino will get a late finish, but who cares? I won't have a bet on it. We're just looking for the over 1.5 rounds. On to my third bet in the main event of Jairzinho Rozenstruik versus Shamil Gaziev. I also got this one to go over 1.5 rounds at 2.40 odds for 2 units. This is the battle of who ate less McDonald's in the last 3 months. Both are extremely big boys, with Rozenstruik being the much better kickboxer, but extremely bad on the ground, while Gaziev presents more of a well-rounded skill set. So you're probably thinking, Why does he think this goes over? Both guys are round 1 finishers. Okay, let me explain. We are going into the mind of Rozenstruik here, okay? From his POV, we're looking at this fight. Okay. He knows he out-kickboxes Gaziev 10 out of 10 times. If he is able to find his range. So guess what? He's thinking about those takedowns coming from Gaziev. Especially after what Jailton Almeida has done to him in his last fight. So I think he will avoid trying to throw huge bombs early on, because it obviously fucks around with your, center of balance and all that. I think he will throw a lot of leg kicks early on onto Gaziev, trying to hurt his knees, trying to hurt his calves, in order to kind of neutralize the threat of the takedown. And in general, of course, he knows Gaziev can throw heavy shots too. They are heavyweights. So both of these things will make Rozenstruik not go for a 30-second first round type finish, in my opinion. Okay, so, and let's look at this fight now from Gaziev's POV. If he's not delusional, he knows that his best weapon in this fight is probably his ground game. I mean, he's not a bad striker by any means, but Rozenstruik just has that crazy kickboxing background. So anyways, Gaziev will know on one wrong move on the feet and it's wraps for him. So what he will end up doing, in my opinion, is kind of circling around Rozenstruik, taking it slow, looking for takedown openings. Most likely he will also strike 2 in order to test himself, kind of get the ego out, but cautiously. So to keep it short, I think we will see both kind of starting to open up around the end of round 1. Then you already know, the big boys will already be kind of tired. Then go into round 2 kind of gassed. And then at that point it just gets ugly for heavyweights. So can both of these guys finish each other at any given time? Yes, of course, definitely. But I do think this will lead to a bit of caution from both. You don't want to be knocked out bad, especially being in the main event when you know all the lights are on you. Do I think this fight will get a finish? Yes, of course. You would be insane not to think that. I just think it will be a little later, little bit later than expected, and at these odds of 2.40, I'll gladly take this one. So anyways, these are my 3 bets for now. About the rest of the card, yes, I do think all the huge favorites on this card, like Umar Nurmagomedov and Javid Basharat and Ludovic Klein, yes, they will win, of course. It's just the odds are hella thick. If you make a parlay with all 3 of those guys, you get odds at like 1.40, which is ridiculous. Like I said, hella boxing vibes. Also, I want to caution you guys from betting on Muhammad Mokaev on this card. Do I think he wins this fight against Alex Perez? Yes, I do, but no way in hell am I betting on those odds. Mokaev is around a 1.30 favorite on most bookies at the moment, and that is just way too wide in my opinion. Perez is a huge step up in competition for him, and even though Mokaev just somehow always gets that round 3 submission, somehow, he just didn't look that impressive in any of his last 3 fights really. And I'm not saying I'm not on the Mokaev hype train, I am, but I just felt like I needed to point this out. So anyways, that's gonna be it for this video. As always, follow me on Twitter in case I'm adding any more bets as we approach Saturday. My CDL bets video will drop tomorrow for those that are interested, and until then, the money team is out!